Wow, that is one sharp X-Acto knife. Well, hello, Glue Troopers. Max of Max's Models here. I was just down in Sanford, Florida, visiting Glue Trooper Fran, who owns a Mustang that he's been driving. That was his daily driver for years, and he's had it for a long, long time and still operates it regularly today. Now, Fran is the one I gave the remnants of the Felix stove to, and he's trying to do what he can with it. He's had to fabricate a lot of parts. And we saw some of his cool model collection, including this metal Spitfire from a company called Casadio. I guess that's how you say it, out of Italy. I'm not really familiar with them. This is an incredibly high resolution model, but it's almost all metal. And I guess most of it screws together. I don't even know what kind of glue you would, or paint you would use on metal. It's got a lot of photo etch. Very, very high quality model that he picked up at one of the shows. And I don't know what those things would normally cost. I'm not familiar with the company, but I thought one of you guys might be. Well, Fran was thinning out some of his stash that's going to go over to Hurricane Hobbies for sale. And it was funny, since we've been talking about Mustangs and doing the Mustang build. When I got all the models over there, started going through them, I realized there were actually quite a few Mustangs in his stash that he was parting with, including the 66 Mustang, the one Chuck Berry was singing about. Cherry red 66 Mustang, and also a 68. He had some vintage 1/72nd scale monogram Mustangs. How many times have I built those? As well as an old Hawk P51D. And these are, of course, all vintage kits. But perhaps one of the most vintage is this 1955 issue of the F-84 Thunderstreak by Revell. And he also had a very old Airfix 1/72nd scale B-24 Liberator. And he had Glencoe's repop of the M41 Walker Bulldog. Now it says RC, but that means it's capable of being turned in RC. There are no RC components in the unit. And of course he had some Guilos kits, some of these Precision Miniatures Wright Flyers, and also one of the kits that I've actually built, he has the 1/100 scale Tamiya Boeing Vertol. Only this one did not appear to come with the New York Airways decals that mine did. Then, of course, he's got the it says World War II Jeep, and it is, but it's got the 106 Recoilless, which I think was a post-war setup. This is the exact same kit that you get when you buy the Godzilla Recoilless Rifle Jeep. It's a good kit. I've got it right here on the shelf. And he also had this Bondi 148 scale Jeep. That's actually a pretty rare and expensive kit. And, of course, the Corvette. He has original Renwalls, Visible Man, Visible Woman, and Human Skeleton. And he also had a radio control Corsair. Royal Products was an American company located in Denver, Colorado. They imported the Marutaka kits from Japan, repackaged them in different boxes, put their logos on the plans, and sometimes added decals and cockpit kits, and sold them under their name, Royal Products. I think they went from the late 70s to the late 80s. Now, these are airplanes that you build, nothing ready to fly here. While I was out there, since we're going to be doing Navy jet builds later next year, I went out to Sanford Airport. Now, Sanford used to be a naval air station, founded in 42 as NAS Sanford. It was a training base, and it is also where every Navy Vigilante pilot qualified. It was the only base that trained A-5 Vigilante pilots. And they have one up on a stick, and I thought I'd go get some photos of it because I might try to build a Vigilante for my Navy jet build. To be honest, this is kind of what inspired the idea for a Navy jet build. And I remember building as a kid. There are a lot of great Vigilante kits out there. I'm going to go check what scales are available because I've seen them in 1/72nd. I would imagine there's some 148s out there. I'm really not sure. And I would love to see that kit in 1/32nd scale. It'd be a beast. That is the largest single pilot jet to ever operate off of an aircraft carrier, if I'm not mistaken. It's 76.5 feet long, and that's bigger than a Tomcat or a Phantom. I mean, it's a huge airplane. It's actually bigger than the F-105 Thunder Chief. And to think some, 600-hour lieutenant junior grade or lieutenant is slamming that beastie on an aircraft carrier. And I've been fortunate to grow up people who both worked on the Vigilante and flew it. And it was a jet with a lot of firsts. I believe it was the Navy's first all fly-by-wire fighter. It was their first, they call it high-low supersonic airplane. It could do supersonic Mach 1.01 at sea level, or up around 40,000 feet. It could do Mach 2.0. I know some guys that got some great war stories in those things. They only lost one vigilante crew killed and one vigilante crew captured during the Vietnam War because the thing was so fast. And it was really an advanced airplane. It started off as a nuke bomber, but became a reconnaissance aircraft. And it's a whole lot. You know, this airplane actually does not have ailerons. It's the first Navy jet to use strictly spoilers, roll spoilers. A lot of cool stuff about that airplane. A lot of firsts. Maybe we'll talk about it in more detail at some point. Well, anyway, that's where we are for right now. By the way, the RVAH-3 stands for Reconnaissance Heavier Than Air Attack Heavy. All right, guys. Well, that's what we have for right now. I hope you're doing well. We'll talk at you later. And as always, model on.